Here's a performance of understanding by Steve McCrea. I'm asking my students to do something similar. Do something from Shakespeare. The forward violet, thus did I chide. Sweet thief, whence didst thou steal thy sweet that smells, if not from my love's breath? The purple pride which on thy soft cheek for complexion dwells, in my love's vein thou hast too grossly dyed. The lilies I condemned for thy hand, and buds of marjoram had stolen of thy hair. The roses fearfully on thorns stand, one blushing shame, another white despair, a third nor red nor white had stolen of both, and to his robbery had annexed thy breath. More flowers I noted, yet none I could see, but sweet or aroma it had stolen from thee. Okay, so basically that was a sonnet written by Shakespeare that talks about some aspects of flowers. Now let's do a Blake poem. Here's the purpose of education. To see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour. Isn't that what we do when we look at microscopes? We look at the grain of sand and we see a world. Next one, let's look at the ride of Paul Revere. I saw 2 lanterns in the north church tower. This was to be the fateful hour when a man would ride into alarm every village and every farm to awaken them and call to arm. It was the ride of Paul Revere. Ride, ride, though the night is cold. Ride, ride, till the truth is told. Ride, ride, like that man of old. Ride like Paul Revere. I wonder if 200 years ahead, if we will ride or if we'll stay in bed. If faith and freedom within us die, and then we hear that midnight cry and the hoofbeats across the moonlit sky, will we ride with Paul Revere? I mean, some of my ancestors, that's their DNA behind that song, because they rode. Well, they responded in revolutionary times. One of them was a signer of the Declaration of Independence. He was beaten, was placed in prison. He died in 1781, and the war was over in 1783. So essentially, he died and didn't know if we would succeed. I have those genes within me. I know that the transformation of education from this industrial model that many of us go through, the big box, one size fits all, will be transformed so that small schools like the Randazzo School, like, big picture schools, go to big picture schools and see what happens in those classrooms. 1 teacher, 15 students, 4 years, every subject, but the main idea is to get the students into an internship so they can study life, not individual subjects, but they can study life. This is a performance of understanding about why the ride of Paul Revere is so good. And then I see trees of green and red roses too. And then I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I'm asking my students to do more than I did. I just studied and then forgot for the next test. I'm asking students to study, produce a performance of understanding to show where their level of understanding is, and then I can go back at any time, 6 months, a year later, and ask them, what's inside that video? And see if they can produce it. I look forward to hearing what other students have. And this has been my presentation. This is very similar to what someone would do. And then I'd like to see 4 different languages, some sort of something. Entschuldigen Sie bitte, mein Telefon ist tot. Bitte, kann Sie helfen mir? Kann Sie mir helfen? Can you help me? My phone's dead. Or, excusez-moi, le téléphone ne fonctionne pas, ne marche pas. Est-il possible de faire un coup de fil? And then, pouvez-vous m'aider? Can you help me? Pouvez-vous m'aider? Piacere di fare la sua conoscenza. Try some Italian. Ho bisogno di fare una chiamata del telefono. Posso usare la sua telefoni? Okay. And we got, how about Portuguese? Com permiso? Lamento muito. Eu tenho problema. Meu telefone não funciona. A cargada. A bateria não tem carga. É possível usar a sua telefone. Something like that. And then there's Spanish. Disculpe, tengo un problema. Necesito fazer, no, that's Portuguese. Fazer chamada. Posso chamar meu amigo. That's what I could say in Portuguese. But in English, in Spanish, it would be puedo usar su teléfono para hacer una llamada. Something like that, right? So I've gone through French, Spanish, a little bit of Portuguese, a little bit of German, and then we got English. So I did my 5, all right? So that's what I'm asking my students to do. And then I think I probably could do it in Russian. Извините, пожалуйста, товарищи. Нет. I'm going to have to work on that one. Okay, so I got my 5. Thank you.